Say it loud, say it loud. Say it clear. Come on, say it clear.
Welcome back to The Living Years. This is the third of 4 episodes about the films of 1976. Of the 37 movies I watched, here are my top 20 favorites. At number 20 is Logan's Run, a very unique sci-fi story about a utopian future that turns out to be a bit more dystopian as the story progresses. The premise and world building are very promising. As far as effects and budgets are concerned, they did the best they could, but I can't help thinking about how in just a year's time, Star Wars is going to blow stuff like this out of the water. Things get creepy at 19 with Richard Donner's The Omen, starring film legend Gregory Peck and featuring a creepy child character named Damien. This classic horror story spawned 3 sequels and a remake. Number 18 is a film I had never heard of, Assault on Precinct 13 by John Carpenter. At the core is a violent tale of cops and a particularly sinister street gang. Despite its low-budget B-movie look, there are plenty of surprising touches along the way. This has quite a cult following for its unique take on the standoff genre. Sissy Spacek and Stephen King join forces in the 17th spot with Carrie. The iconic moment of seeing the lead character doused in pig's blood at her prom is certainly worth the wait, but the stuff before and after is just as valuable. At number 16 is the film Roger Ebert ranked as his favorite of this year. It's a French film called Small Change, or in some regions, Pocket Money. This was a really neat coming-of-age story about school children, their teachers, and their families. Presented mostly as a series of episodes in the lives of this town's characters, it manages to be funny and poignant, often at the same time. Number 15 is Voyage of the Damned, a war drama with an all-star cast including Faye Dunaway, Max von Sydow, and Malcolm McDowell. This is a true story about an ocean liner filled with Jewish refugees fleeing Germany in 1939. Because of political maneuvering behind the scenes, the passengers are not allowed to enter their destination of Cuba. And the ways in which this problem is or isn't solved is incredibly fascinating. All 5 Best Picture nominees made my countdown, but the lowest is Bound for Glory at number 14. This is a fictionalized version of the life of Woody Guthrie. The film does an excellent job of depicting the Dust Bowl period of the Great Depression and Guthrie's transformation into an advocate for workers' rights and a celebrated folk musician. At number 13 is Family Plot, the final film of famed director Alfred Hitchcock. The acting is great and features a few familiar faces like Bruce Dern and Barbara Harris. The story is a lot of fun. This is a classic Hitchcock thriller with meticulous attention to detail, but unlike his typical material, it's a dark comedy, which makes it a lot of fun. Harlan County, USA comes in at number 12. This won the Academy Award for Best Documentary, and I loved everything about it. The filmmakers follow the efforts of coal miners and their wives in Kentucky as they fight for their rights against the corporation in charge of their unsafe, underpaid operation. Picket lines are organized, efforts are taken to intimidate and harm those on the lines, meetings are had, negotiations are attempted, and the cameras are there to capture everything. By the end of the film, you really feel like you've been right there alongside them on this difficult journey. And finally, at number 11 is The Outlaw Josie Wales. I had never seen this classic Clint Eastwood film, but my expectations were high and it did not disappoint. This portrait of one man's post-Civil War experiences kept me guessing at every turn, and of course it enabled Eastwood to do so much of what he does best. I'm a big fan of Chief Dan George's work here as well, and everywhere for that matter. Come back next time for the rest of this top 20 list as I reveal my 10 favorite films of 1976. See you then.